Today's lesson is on bathing in ancient Rome. Stay tuned to learn about beautiful Roman bathhouses and the importance of bathing in ancient Rome. Bathing was a very important part of everyday life in ancient Rome. Not every ancient culture thought of bathing in the way the Romans did. Bathing in ancient Rome was communal, meaning everyone bathed together. That might sound weird, and you might be picturing a bunch of people squished into a bathtub. That's not how it worked, though. In fact, Roman bathhouses had multiple rooms and pools inside of a very large building. Going to the bathhouse was for more than just bathing, as people went there to visit with their friends, relax, exercise, and learn. Everyone from the elite to the non-elite bathed daily, including women, men, and children. So those Romans probably weren't as smelly as you'd think. Each city within the Roman Empire had a bathhouse called thermae or balneae. Thermae is a Latin term used by the Romans to describe a large bathhouse, and balneae was used to describe a small bathhouse. Thousands of people would pass through them every day. Some bathhouses were built by the richest people of a town or city, and some were built by the emperors as gifts to their citizens. Bathing in ancient Rome was not as simple as it is today, as the Romans had many steps to cleaning themselves that were as much about relaxing as they were about cleanliness. There were many different pools within the bath buildings, and there was a certain order for using them. You would begin with the caldarium, or the hot bath, to open up your pores. Then you would go to the tepidarium, the warm bath, and then the frigidarium, the cold bath to close up the pores again. After that, you could go for a leisurely dip in the large swimming pool called the natatio, or back to the caldarium for an extra hot cleanse. The room for the caldarium was usually quite large, and so was the frigidarium, but the tepidarium was usually a smaller room. The Romans believed that this order of bathing would keep them healthy and refreshed. In addition to bathing in different temperatures, at the baths Romans received massages and olive oil treatments. The Romans wanted to be thoroughly clean, but instead of soap they covered their bodies in olive oil, which was then scraped off by a bronze dull tool called a strigil, which could be done by slaves. This step exfoliated their skin and ensured that they were squeaky clean. Strigils would usually be used by men after exercising. Bath complexes were also a place for staying healthy, which included daily exercise. Each bathhouse had large courtyards for exercising. The Baths of Caracalla in Rome was one of the most impressive ancient bath complexes. It had large courtyard gymnasiums, as seen in the image of the complex's reconstruction. Fun fact, some bathhouses even had restaurants. The most impressive element of Roman bathhouses was the heating system. The system used for the heating of rooms of bath complexes was called the hypocaust system. The heat to warm the water and the air in the baths was created by a wood-burning furnace. The hot air was then directed from the furnace to an open space below the floors, which were raised above the ground on short pillars so that the air could circulate throughout the entire room. The underfloor pillars can be seen in the image to the left, although the floor no longer remains. The warm air was then pushed through clay pipes hidden behind the walls of the room, which heated the room as the hot air moved around. Did you know that Roman bathhouses had indoor plumbing too? The water used to fill the pools entered the bath complexes from an attached aqueduct. What is an aqueduct? An aqueduct is one of the many impressive pieces of Roman architecture. It is an above-ground or underground pipe system that carried water from a water source, like a lake, into the city. The used water did not go to waste, though. As the water was drained from the pools, it passed through the bathrooms and flushed out the toilets. The bath complexes were made of concrete and brick, and some were immensely grand, like the baths of Caracalla pictured to the left, which is now just a shell of what it once was. Not all bath complexes were the same, as each differed in layout and design, and they varied in size depending on the population of the city they were in. The insides and outsides of the buildings were usually beautifully decorated, as you can see in the image from within the tepidarium, or the room with the warm water pool, of the Forum Baths of Pompeii. Larger bath complexes included areas for learning, which included libraries and art galleries. Beautiful art could be found on the walls and floors throughout the complexes, like mosaics and frescoes, as well as statues. Animals, plants, mythical creatures, and Roman gods could be found in the decorations throughout the baths. One of the most famous of the ancient Roman bath complexes is the baths of Emperor Caracalla, which were built between 211 and 216 CE, about 1700 years ago. The baths were used until the 6th century CE, when the aqueducts of the city of Rome were destroyed by invading groups. The baths of Caracalla had high ceilings and large archways, which would have been incredibly beautiful, luxurious, and stunning. Fun fact, there were many tunnels beneath the baths, which slaves used to move throughout the building. Let's review what we've learned today. The Romans visited the bathhouse every day as cleanliness was important. Bath complexes were centers for staying healthy as people went there to exercise, relax, and socialize. Every city and town in the empire had a bathhouse, and they all differed in size, design, and layout. Some were very large, and some were smaller. Roman bathhouses were both for practical use and luxuriously designed for the wellness of all the citizens of the empire. Thank you for watching. For more educational lessons and fun activities, visit Ancient and Medieval Adventures camps online.